USA.
Yo 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 yo.
Jess Hilarious.
Good morning.
Charlamagne the God.
Peace to the planet. Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is?
Hump Day.
How y'all feel out there? I feel blessed, black, and highly favored. Happy to be here. Another day to serve our beautiful listeners. Good morning. Man.
That's right. It's Wednesday. It's Hump Day. What's up, Jess? How you feeling, Jess?
What's up? What's up? I'm all right. Waiting to be let to the Zoom, but I'm all right, y'all. Getting over a strep throat. I did shows over the weekend in Baltimore, and I love my hometown. Yes, I do. But I got sick after meet and greet. It always happens like that, but that's why I don't do it as much. Got sick. Somebody came out with strep, passed it to me, and yeah, I've been home for recovering for like 3 days.
Okay. And how many shows did you do out there?
I did 5. I could have added another one. They were all sold out, but I started not feeling good Sunday.
You still out there spreading strep all around Baltimore?
I'm definitely not in Baltimore. I'm home. I haven't been able to be around my child, my husband, nobody.
You look like you was in the dispensary yesterday on Instagram.
I was not in the dispensary. That was a voiceover, and I got paid to do that promo. Mind your business.
Oh.
Yep,
I look like your big ass hand pointing
that
that
definitely was not my big ass hand. That was the nigga hand, and I got nails. Don't play with me. Mind your business, like I said.
Wow.
But yes, I get paid to do promos. So yeah. But I'm good now. Thank you.
Okay. Good. What up, Charlamagne?
Man, I feel great. You know, this is a great week. And the reason this is a great week is, number one, the NFL is back, right? So it's NFL week 2, regardless of how your team, regardless if your team sucks.
Yes.
Okay? Like mine, the Dallas Cowboys.
I'm glad that disclaimer had to come, didn't it?
Which team, what you rooting? Who is you? Pittsburgh or Baltimore this year?
Ravens. Hey, yo, not this year. Ravens,
I don't know. Well, they lost last week.
Yeah, they did lose.
That badly.
So
That was a terrible loss.
Yeah,
it was up by like...
No, it wasn't a terrible loss.
Yes,
it was just stupid. They always do dumb stuff like that. They always do that, though.
That was up in the fourth quarter.
By like 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's
like
crazy.
that was insane. But Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez this Saturday, man.
That's
Dropping
right,
the clues
bud.
bombs with Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. Not enough hype around this fight for me, but I didn't think it would be. And the only reason I didn't think it would be is just simply because, like, you know, Canelo is super popular in the Mexican world.
Correct.
Terrence Crawford is not as popular unless you're a boxing fan.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. It'll be a good fight.
It's going to be it should be an amazing fight.
Yes.
Who
on
y'all
Saturday.
got? Who y'all got?
I don't know. It's a pick me for me. I know that sounds crazy because the boxing fan in me says it should be Canelo Alvarez, but I'm
going for Bud.
I've slept on Bud before.
Yep.
And that's when he washed Earl Spence.
That's right.
Okay. And Bud is a special kind of fighter. He got a magic to him that you just never know.
That's right.
You just never know. Even though he's going up a couple weight classes, you just never know. I don't know. So I'm just going to enjoy the fight.
I'm rooting for Bud. All right. Well, we got a big show for you this morning. We have Shaka Senghor. He'll be joining us. He's an author, speaker. Charlamagne was just in Rikers Island with him, so we'll break that down, what he was doing out there. And he has a new book.
Yeah, he got a new book called How to Be Free, a proven guide to escaping life's hidden prison. Shaka is my man. You know, he comes to my mental health expo. He's been to my mental health expo a few times, and this week we were at Rikers Island speaking to the inmates because he does a lot of work with prisons all around the country. And this book is really fantastic because a bunch of us are trapped in a lot of hidden prisons.
That's right.
In our lives.
That's right.
And he gave us a guide on how to get free of them.
And also Jermaine Dupri, JD, will be joining us. He has a new documentary series called Magic City, which comes with an album or a soundtrack. So we'll be talking to JD about everything going on, Magic City, and everything that he's working on.
If you've ever been to Magic City, man, you understand how special this documentary is. And every time I watch this episode of Magic City, I want to go to Magic City. I'm actually mad that I didn't go to Magic City when I was in Atlanta for Invest Fest. Me and my wife have had some great times in Magic City.
Well, you do not even like being around people. First of all, your wife like the strippers. You just like to sit there and eat the wings.
I like to go there and empower the women that are in invest into the community of Atlanta.
And he be sitting in the corner.
Yup. Making sure
looking
everybody
for
got
things to
one.
discuss on Mondays. Yeah, right.
Well,
discriminating. I mean, they're discriminating. Like, no light-skinned women. I want all the melanin, please.
Hey, yo.
We definitely discriminate when we be in there.
Okay.
What's wrong with that?
Hey, nothing. You pick what you like. You pick what you like.
Crazy.
All right. And salute to the ladies at Magic City. I'm sure they're just leaving now. They just finished counting their singles and their ones.
Yeah, even the light-skinned ones. Yeah.
Amazing club. Salute to Lala. Amazing. She works at Magic City, Lala. She's not a stripper, though. She works there. Salute to Lala.
All right. Well, let's get the show cracking. We got front page news. Mimi will be joining us next. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Let's get in some front page news. Good morning, Mimi.
Good morning, everyone. How y'all doing?
Good morning. You look good, girl.
Thank you, Jess. I hope you
welcome.
feel better. Thank you, girl.
Thank you.
All right, well, we start this morning with who draws the line and who gets to keep the power. Politicians in several states are rushing to redo congressional maps before 2026, but voters, they are not buying it. An NBC poll shows most Americans want independent commissions, not parties who are in charge redrawing the maps. Now, this all began in Texas, where Republicans backed by President Trump pushed a mid-decade map to lock in more House seats. Texas Governor Greg Abbott signed it into law last week. Civil rights group, they sued immediately, saying it dilutes the Black and Latino votes. Democrats in California, they're also pushing a Newsom-backed November ballot measure that, if other states keep redrawing, would temporarily let lawmakers replace the state's independent map. Republicans have already sued to block that. And in Missouri, GOP leaders advance a mid-cycle map that deeply splits Kansas City and puts longtime Democratic Congressman Emanuel Cleaver at risk. And now Utah is jumping in. A judge there said lawmakers blew past voter-approved anti-gerrymandering rules and ordered a new map before the midterm. So in other words, voters set guardrails, lawmakers went around them, and now the court is forcing a redo that would keep more of Salt Lake City together and make one district competitive at least. Now, appeals there are also pending, but the clock is ticking. They have a September 25th deadline to look at that. Now, all of this brings us back to Texas, the state that helped kick this off, which is home to some of the nation's largest Black communities. And how those lines are drawn will decide who's heard and who's pushed into the margins. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, she spoke earlier this week about those maps and what this now means. Let's listen to that.
These maps, racist. The fact that they are trying to silence Black and minority voters in a majority minority state, racist. I want to give y'all some numbers because I don't think that y'all fully understand how bad this is. Texas, number one, has more African Americans than any other state in this country. Right now, under the proposed maps, they want to make it to where Texas only has 2 districts in which African Americans have an opportunity to choose their representation. What does that mean for Black voices in Texas? That means that it is approximately 1/5 the voting strength of their white Texan neighbors.
Mm-hmm. So expect court fights, ballot measures, and confusion over who represents who. But the NBC poll is very clear that 82% of people, they want neutral lines from, they don't want party lines to be drawn based on if you're Republican or Democrat. And so now to Capitol Hill, where GOP leaders are facing a showdown over health care. Speaker Mike Johnson is under growing pressure from within his own party to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits before they expire at the end of the year. So far, 11 Republicans, many from competitive districts, have signed onto a bill that would keep the subsidies in place for another year. Without action, millions of Americans could see their health insurance premiums jump by an average of 18% by January 1st. This puts Republicans in a tough spot because for years the party has fought against Obamacare, but now with more than 24 million people enrolled in marketplace plans and more than 90% relying on these subsidies, letting them expire could spark political backlash. And so some lawmakers want to fold this into an extension into this month's government funding deal, but Speaker Mike Johnson, he hasn't committed, but he does say there are, quote, thoughtful conversations happening, but says there's a lot of opposition. Meanwhile, Democrats, they're drawing a red line, warning they will not support any budget deal that lets benefits lapse. They argue that without action, millions of people will lose coverage while everyone else will pay higher premiums. So that fight is far from over. Senate Republicans say they want to compromise, possibly by tightening eligibility requirements rather than eliminating those credits altogether. But with a government funding deadline looming and election season coming up, both parties are under pressure to act or face some political fallout.
Yeah, I just don't understand how you sit around thinking on how to make people's lives worse. Like, it should be an easy call to extend the affordable, Care Act. Like, it should be an easy call. Like, it makes people's lives better. Like, why would you want to cut people's health care in any way, shape, or form?
But now it's the principle, because Republicans have fought for so long against Obamacare that now is just like they don't want to do it, even though millions of Americans are on it and they need it, and they will lose their health care. So a lot of people are writing and calling into their senators and their congressmen, and making sure that is folded into the government shutdown bill. So we'll see, Charlotte, what happens.
Or maybe if Republicans just start calling it the Affordable Care Act and stop calling it Obamacare, and understand that their constituents and people that voted for them also benefit from this, because that's what government should be about, right? It shouldn't matter who, what party, party implemented what.
It's the people, right?
Yeah, it shouldn't matter what party implemented what politician implemented what. If it helps the American people, that should be what we care about.
That's right. All right. Well, that is front page news. All right, Mimi, we'll see you next hour. Everybody else, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open again. 800-585-1051. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Ray. Yo, Charlamagne, Envy, what up? Are we live?
This is your time to get it off your chest.
I got an indoor pool, an outdoor pool.
We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
We can get on the phone right now. He'll tell you what it is. We live?
Hello, who's this?
Good morning, my Breakfast Club family. It's your boy Lovey from the Bronx.
Lovey, what's happening,
Lovey
King?
from the
How you
Bronx.
doing, brother?
Look, I want to say, Charlamagne, let me give you your crown now for all you do for the culture. I'm bringing some flowers from my second home, Harper CP, to the Mental Wealth Expo on the 11th. Do you have any information that I could pass on as far as the expo this year?
Yes, October 11th, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Joel and Diane Bloom Wellness and Event Center at the New Jersey Institute of Technology in Newark, New Jersey. You can go to mentalwealthexpo.com to register. I mean, you don't have to register. I mean, you've been there before, Lovey. You don't have to register to get in, but, it's recommended that you do. And it's a free event. It's a free event, so just pull up. It ain't no strings attached.
Okay. Now, I didn't know if we had to register, because last year, I registered anyway, but I do want to say this. Being a Cowboys fan, you didn't tap on the NFC East is the first all black quarterback.
Yeah, Russell
This
Wilson.
never happened in the NFL.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts. Not Jalen. Yeah, Jalen Hurts. What's dude from the Redskins name? Jaden Daniels?
It's not the Redskins. I said that the other day. They got mad. Commanders.
Yeah, it's the Commanders.
I'm old. Okay, yeah, all right, sure. The Commanders. And Dak Prescott, the Cowboys. Yes.
Right. And then we go to watch the Giants. I'm sorry, Envy, but we got to watch y'all this week.
You can dream big, love.
Oh, you a Packers fan? Oh, no.
No, I'm a Boys fan.
Yeah, the Packers play the Redskins this Thursday. Never mind. You're right.
Yeah. But have you watched The Billionaire, that gambler? Have you watched that documentary?
No. Oh, yes, I have. Man, I'm sorry. My brain is somewhere else this morning. Yes, I watched all 8 episodes of the Gambler documentary, the Cowboys documentary, yes.
It should be more like a billionaire in his emotions.
It pissed me off because it showed me that Jerry Jones has been the problem the whole time. Because if he would have just got out the way, put his ego to the side, and let Jimmy Johnson be the great football mind that he is, and Jerry just be the billionaire owner, Cowboys would have had tremendous success. We probably would have won 4 to 5 Super Bowls, man, during the 90s.
Big fact. I want to shout out Law Nation Sports. I want you to tap into him. He's a YouTuber. He shows you a lot of love. I want you to tap into him.
What's his name?
Law Nation Sport.
Law Nation Sport. All right, I'm going to check it out.
All right, Lovey. Hello, who's this?
This is Tracy.
Hey, Tracy. Good morning. Get it off your chest, Tracy.
First, good morning, everybody. Thank you for everything that you're doing. The thing that's getting on my nerves this morning, as the mother of 4 blessed, black, and highly favored children, I'm frustrated about this new law that was passed about them taking the cell phones away from kids. I don't think that they fully thought about the safety ramifications of this, because with the active shooters and all the shootings that go on, who is calling the police most of the time? It's the kids with the phones. So, when you have kids away from their parents and they have no way to get in touch if something happens, nobody thought about that. I mean, even at a comedy show, they found ways to effectively let people keep their phones without taking them away. Now, I live in Utica. Just this week, they lost I don't know how many phones, and the lines for the kids to pick up their phones after school was a nightmare. So I really wish that they had thought about this better, or think of a better solution to get this thing solved. I understand the reasoning why they did it, but I just think that it's putting the kids more at harm than helping.
They won't let the kids just keep it in their book bag without using them?
No. Now, different schools have enacted it in different ways. I know that one of my friends she said that their school lets the kids keep them in pouches like they do with the comedy show when they take them and they lock them up. And I guess the teacher can open it whenever they're leaving. But the high school in Utica, they take their phones all together. And then there's this gridlock at the end of the day for the kids trying to get their phones. And the first week of school, I was told by my friends that the line to get their phones was so long, kids were missing their buses. It was like 45 minutes. Some of the kids, they couldn't even get their phones back. It's crazy.
I do think that they should restrict student cell phone use, but I agree with like the pouches. And if you pull it out, during class, then it should be some type of penalty. I don't think that they should take it and like put it in the desk and everybody got to try to get it afterwards.
The pouches is difficult too, because with the pouches, usually you have to wait till outside and they got to scan something to get the pouches open. It should be you can keep your phones. It has to be in your book bag. If it's not in your book bag, you get a detention. And all my kids
and that's what I thought.
They keep their phones in their book bags, and they know that they can only pull it out after class or after school, I should say. But
because we can't sit here.
There were people that were saying. Well, when we were younger, we didn't have to do all that. I said, but you know what? We also didn't have. We didn't have active shooter drills either.
That is
so. If you can put these kids through these active shooter drills, you can do these same drills to show them an effective way to be able to keep their phones. And again, like you said, if somebody is violating, then take their phone. But I mean, to put a whole school at risk.
I'm with you 1,000%.
But we do. We got to admit that phones are a big distraction for these kids.
They are. Yeah. But at what point do you teach them personal responsibility?
That is true.
My kids would have been worried about, oh my God, if I get caught with their phone and they got to call my mother.
Yeah, no,
you know what I'm saying? They would have been more worried about that.
And by the way, it's not like we're not capable, because even when we were in school, like we couldn't have beepers and stuff. Like if you got caught with at least in South Carolina, you got caught with a beeper, you would get detention. You might get ISS. So even though a lot of kids would bring their beepers and stuff anyway, we knew how to keep them hidden.
Exactly.
When Logan was a freshman in high school, there was a robbery across the street, and the guy ran across the school property, and they shut the school down, and they didn't tell any of the parents, but Logan had his cell phone and was able to call and say, this is what's happening. And I thank God, because you're a parent, you outside, you don't know what's going on. They shut the school down, you're trying to run.
And there was a stabbing at the middle school, across town from the high school, just yesterday. So I'm like, okay, I wonder who called that in.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I would tell my kids to keep it in their backpack. Don't say nothing. Don't pull it out.
Exactly.
To school, and if he gets caught, tell them to call their mama.
I like that idea, because like you said, it teaches them personal responsibility.
That's right. Thank you, Tracy.
Right. Thank you.
And they gotta be accountable for that.
That's right.
For their phone or violating that phone rule that's in the classroom.
Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. We got the latest with Lauren coming up.
We do. Cardi B is talking about why the more kids you have, the better. So more kids might be in her future. We're going to get on into it.
All right.
I like that blazer you got on.
Thank you. It's Palms Angels.
I like her hair.
Thank
I'm not
you.
Gonna say all that.
It's giving TLC. I like
TLC.
We went for that yesterday. I was out. We're going to talk about this too, but I went to Harlem's Fashion Rose kickoff for Fashion Week yesterday. They honored Usher with the Virgil Abloh Award, and my outfit was very TLC-ish, black. So this was the hair we did.
Okay.
Nice.
All right.
Like the hair.
We'll get into that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get to the latest with Lauren.
Lauren be coming with straight facts.
She gets them from somebody that knows somebody.
She gets the details.
I'm the homegirl that knows a little bit about everything.
She be having the latest on you.
The latest with Loren LoRosa.
Sometimes she have facts, sometimes she have details, sometimes she have a little bit of everything.
Well, it's the latest.
On The Breakfast Club.
Talk to me.
So Cardi B sat down with Jennifer Hudson, and she talked about why she would have why she wants more kids. Let's take a listen.
Do you think you're gonna have more kids? You are? Mm-hmm. Oh.
Yes, it's like the more kids you have, the less of a possibility you go to like a home. One of them is gonna wipe my butt.
That's
I agree
true.
with that.
Yeah.
And they say that especially when you got girls.
Yeah.
People tell me that all the time. I got 4 girls. I'm going to be taken care of for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I got 4 girls, 2 boys, and that's what I always say. One of them's going to make sure I'm good, that I'm not in the home.
I say that to them, though. I'm like, you going to take care of mommy and daddy when we old, right?
Me too.
Yeah. I think the girls are definitely more inclined to do NBA, but your girls are already I feel like they take care of y'all or try to.
Madison got me. Madison got me. I ain't concerned.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I thought that this was an interesting conversation because you know that there have been those rumors that Cardi is pregnant or if she's not pregnant. So hearing that she's open to more kids, is definitely a thing. She also talked about the fact that she doesn't even have room at this point to get more kids tattooed. So if she does have more, she's going to have to figure out where the kids are going to go. But at the same time, in LA, Offset was at the airport. He was at LAX, and TMZ ran into him and asked him about, because Cardi is promoting Am I the Drama, and he's running around promoting his album Kiari as well. Now, Offset was asked by TMZ if there's competition between him and Cardi because both of the albums are going to be, or his is good and hers is predicted to be really well. Let's take a listen.
Hey, are your kids going to have both their parents nominated for Album of the Year?
For sure.
They're crazy.
W's.
You guys going to go up against each other maybe?
Never, no.
But maybe, never, right.
I just want all peace, man, all for us to win. Everybody got to win. We got kids to take care of. We got to catch the dubs, man.
Totally. So last thing, you going to support her album in some way?
For sure. It's hard. She's going to do a big one, too.
Hey, I love to hear it, man. Hey, and thank you for your time. You're a real good dude, man.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you.
Dropping the clues bombs for Offset.
That's
the dodging that messy ass, nasty ass question that person was trying to present.
Shout out to Charlie that's Charlie from TMZ. That is the Ozzy over there. But
I mean, Charlie's right in theory. I mean, both of them could be up for Album of the Year because their albums came out in the same year. But he knew what he was trying to do.
Yeah, 100%. But I will say, too, shout out to Offset because I think over this press rollout of his album and just some of the things we've seen them go through publicly with their divorce situation, he's learned how to have conversations about what they're going through in the media. From the beginning of when we saw them to now, there was so much growth in that answer. But speaking of Offset, so we were talking a lot about why Offset and JID's Bodies has not been getting the push that we think it should get. So they were on Fallon yesterday, and they performed in Drowning Pool, the band that originally did Bodies, performed with them. Let's take a listen to that.
That's dope.
Yes.
Hard.
Yes, I didn't really know much about the original song that was sampled. I learned that because of this performance, but I was watching this interview with JID and he was talking about how the composition of that song is like one of his favorite that he's ever rapped over.
He killed it.
Yeah.
He bodied that
record. Two individuals who did not get the proper promotion for their albums, JID and Offset.
Well, they're making the stops now, it seems like, with Fallon. That was a great performance.
Yeah, but it's been weeks since their album came out.
You're right. You're right. You're right. Well, speaking of album promotion, you guys have been seeing Cardi and all the promotion she's been doing. So people
she's taking it back. She's taking it back to the essence of when people used to run around and really push their albums.
We got to stop doing this.
What's that?
We got to stop praising people for doing what they're supposed to do. Yes, I understand what we did the same thing with the Clips. Clips had such a genius rollout, and we're doing the same thing with Cardi. Cardi's having such a genius rollout. No, she's actually doing a rollout.
Correct.
But here's the thing.
But rollout stopped, right? Because budget stopped. People stopped putting money into marketing, and they started doing, let's just do a TikTok dance, and that'll sell it. But I think these artists are going back to what makes sense, talking to their...
I don't know. Yes, you need a budget, but also, it don't really cost to go do media. It don't really cost to do press. It don't really cost to do promo videos.
Or to lean into just what your audience knows you as, because what Cardi has been doing, it looks like you could shoot that with an iPhone. It looks like she's shooting it with an iPhone. So Cardi B, if you guys have not seen it, has been, like, we know her for like the skits and, the personality.
It costs money to move Cardi around.
It does. Don't give me
from state to state.
But she's not moving around what Lauren's saying.
But she is. She's doing skits.
Different states.
So like the last one she just did, she talked about the budget. It does take money to move her around, but what I'm saying is you can pull out a phone and speak to your audience the way they're used to hearing you. So
you can pull up on the block and lay your CDs on the sidewalk.
Yes.
But she's also going to Houston. She's going to LA. She's going to Atlanta. She's in Long Island. She's flying all over the place. And Cardi don't fly in commercial.
No. But I'm not talking about that part of it. I'm talking about the piece that's promoting it, like the vehicle that's promoting it. She said she jokingly posted a video saying that Atlantic only gave her $50 for the rollout, so that's why she's been doing this. And we have the audio of her, right, Jess? And I think she's being funny, but there was the video.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Just like they only really gave her 50. No.
Might be close.
No, Charlamagne. If this is Cardi B, they just had that whole article with them talking about how
these labels don't be spending no money, but continue.
I was just going to play the audio from when she had the CDs laid out. I think she was uptown in Harlem. She had the CDs laid out on the ground. Let's take a listen.
What up, y'all? We outside. We got the exclusive Cardi B new album we selling right now. Look at it right here. We got the vinyls. We got the CDs. We got the core edition. Got the core edition, $9.99. $9.99. So which CDs, y'all?
And I think what she's doing that's dope is she's giving physical copies, right?
Yes.
Because it makes people feel special. It's no disrespect. You can download a record or you can stream a record, but the fact I got a CD and it's signed by Cardi B, I could get a chance to take a picture. I got vinyl and it's signed by Cardi B. I think that even makes it even more special.
And it's affordable. It's $9.99. I love that.
Yeah.
I'm just happy it's a rollout because people don't promote their stuff outside of social media.
Correct.
Like literally, they're like, post it on Instagram, post it on their Twitter, post it on their TikTok, and that's it.
And good luck.
Like, I am just happy that it is an actual rollout, that she is actually out there promoting her album, telling people to go buy it.
That's so crazy because rollouts used to look forward to see what the rollout would be.
Yes.
And now it's like Cardi's always been consistent with having rollouts for her big projects, but I mean her last album too. But it's just crazy that we like have to like be like, oh my God, this is a rollout when you used to look forward to that.
That's artists as well. Artists got to be willing to do it. Artists got to be willing to do the work as well.
Well, shout out to Cardi and the rollouts and all the things. I went to a Galore magazine Tokyo Styles Cardi B party last night celebrating them, but I was there, it was late, they hadn't got there yet, so I left before they came, but they covered Galore magazine. Yeah, so shout out to Tokyo Styles and Cardi B.
And she does the bougie-ish and she does the hood-ish too. She'll go to the club and then she'll go to the bougie. She does both sides.
Yesterday was in the middle.
It was in the middle?
Yeah, it was in the middle. It was like, I seen the homies, but it was a lot of people in there. I was like, how did y'all end up here?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's the latest with Lauren. Now, when we come back, we got front page news, and then Jermaine Dupri will be joining us. So don't go anywhere. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
You're checking out The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get back in some front page news. What's up, Mimi?
What's up, y'all? So this is a story that has been having a lot of back and forth. And then there was another ruling that came down yesterday. So a federal judge on Tuesday blocked President Trump's attempt to fire Lisa Cook from the Federal Reserve's Board of Governors, issuing a temporary restraining order that keeps her on the job for now while the case proceeds. The judge in the case ordered Chair Jerome Powell and the board not to carry out the removal. Cook is one of seven governors who helped run the central bank. She sits on the Federal Open Market Committee, which votes on interest rates and helps the banking rules and financial stability policies. Decisions the feds make, they make mortgage rates rules, car loans, credit card applications, and how banks are supervised. For months, Trump has pressed the Federal Reserve to lower interest rates, arguing that his tariff policies will not push up inflation, but central bankers want to see how the trade war and other policy changes affect the U.S. economy before resuming cuts. Now, in the spring, Trump threatened to fire Chair Jerome Powell, then backed off as advisors warned him this would spark the market volatility. So rather than take on Powell, whose term ends in May of 2026, it seems the focus has shifted to reshaping the board. Now, if Cook, a Biden appointee, were removed, Democratic-appointed governors would drop to 2 of the 7-member panel. Now, to do this, Trump has gone after Cook on mortgage fraud, allegations tied to properties that she owns in Georgia and in Michigan. Cook denies any wrongdoing and has not been charged, and she sued to keep her seat. During a cabinet meeting, though, Trump was asked if her attempted firing was political and if his administration was weaponizing government by digging into the mortgage records of people he does not like. Let's listen to what he had to say.
No, they're public. I mean, you can find out those records. You can go check out the records yourself. And you should be doing that job, actually. You wouldn't do that because that's not the kind of reporter you are. But you should be doing that job. I shouldn't have to be doing it. If you did your job properly, we wouldn't have problems like Lisa Cook.
Right then and there, that's when the reporter should be like, okay, Mr. President, but what about the Epstein files? Like, whenever he insults you, you should bring up exactly what you know bothers him.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And that was a CBS reporter. Presidents don't typically fire Fed leaders. It's part of a norm that's meant to protect the central bank from day-to-day politics. And it's also interesting to mention that Cook is the first black woman to serve on the Fed board in its 110-year history.
And you said that was a CBS reporter, so Trump owned CBS, so that person wasn't going to buck back.
Okay. All right. Well, moving on. If you have ever had your flight delayed for hours or canceled at the last minute and you sat there wondering if the airline owed you anything, this next story is for you, because the Trump administration is reversing a Biden-era plan that would have required airlines to pay passengers compensation when flights are delayed or canceled due to airline-related issues. Now, we're talking payouts that range from $200 to $775, plus coverage for meals and hotel stays if you were stranded because of something like a mechanical failure or a system outage. Now, the plan was first introduced in 2023 under the Biden administration as part of an effort to cut down on junk fees and push for stronger passenger protections. It even made it to final approval the stage earlier this year, and it was waiting to take effect, but the Department of Transportation under Trump Secretary Sean Duffy says the rule is now being withdrawn. The airline industry, of course, is celebrating this move. The Airlines for America, that's the group that represents Delta, United, and America, they called the reversal a win, arguing the rules would have gone beyond the Department of Transportation's authority, and they're not fixing the real issues. But here's what you need to know. If you are still stranded or if your flight is canceled, the airline will refund you, but they do not have to compensate you for delays. Some carriers choose to do that, but not everyone. It's totally up to the carriers now that this rule has been reversed.
So we still do get the refund.
You still do if your
Just
flight
not
is
the
canceled,
extra compensation.
not delayed, but canceled. You get the refund.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yet again, I don't understand why this administration is so hell bent on getting rid of things that actually help people. Like after you've been delayed, you want some type of compensation.
Yes. People miss work.
Yes.
I've been late to shows. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, like you said.
Especially if it's not your fault. If there's a mechanical issue or staffing shortage, they should pay you for something.
Absolutely. Not even shows, like kids' events. Like there's been times I had to fly back to make it to a kid's games and the flight was delayed or didn't happen and I was late or missed a kid's game. So yeah, there's a lot going on. Yeah, and you should be compensated. Absolutely.
Yeah, the fact that the Trump administration cares more about what these airlines think than what everyday people think is part of the problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I'm so sick of these politicians that are beholden to corporations.
Yeah, and I'm talking about like me doing shows. I've been late to my own comedy shows, and people are there waiting for me, but my flight is delayed, and it's like, damn, they want their money back at the end of the, you know what I'm saying? So people miss work is what I mean. Not me going to shows. I'm talking working.
I've seen people miss weddings. I've seen people miss funerals. I done seen people miss a whole bunch of things because flights are delayed and they couldn't get. They couldn't.
Imagine you miss your own funeral because the flight delayed. Because you know sometimes they got to ship a body.
Ship your body. Well, the body's in there a couple days before the funeral.
He wasn't even there.
Right.
Well, thank you, Mimi.
All right, you're welcome. And that's your front page news. I'm Mimi Brown. Follow me on social at Mimi Brown TV. And for more news coverage, follow the Black Information Network or download the free iHeartRadio app and visit BINnews.com.
Mimi, do your followers go up when you do that? And do they be all in your DMs?
Charlotte, that's an offline conversation.
Crazy.
Okay?
Crazy.
All right. Now, when we come back, Jermaine Dupri will be joining us. JD, so don't go anywhere. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
Yes, indeed.
JD, Jermaine Dupri.
What's happening?
How you feeling?
He's looking at the wall.
I'm looking at the wall.
We ain't got JD on the wall?
I don't know. I don't think I made the wall. That's all right.
Damn, we ain't got JD on the wall.
Yeah, y'all ain't got me up there.
Well, no, see, the wall represents like iconic Breakfast Club moments. Not that you haven't given us great interviews.
I haven't had a.
You know what I'm saying?
You have had some, you know.
You ain't never stormed out the studio.
You ain't never slapped Charlamagne, threatening.
Yeah, I don't have nothing to do with
that.
that.
Throw a chair.
I'm out of that. I'm not in that conversation.
But you have always come in here and given us great conversation, man.
Great
and
news.
I've been enjoying the Magic City docuseries.
Thank you.
And it got me to thinking about like just Atlanta. Like, and Atlanta's had a lot of different runs as far as music is concerned. Yeah. But what is Atlanta culture exactly? Is it the strip clubs?
Yeah, 100%. That's one of the things. Skating. It's a bunch of different things like the bass music and a bunch of different things. But we've never really highlighted these things the way I guess I'm trying to do and make sure that people understand that that's what it is. Because I think like people think like even with the strip club situation, it was me and whoever else was promoting this from a long time ago, just black people trying to promote strip clubs. And you learn from the documentary that this was a law that was passed in the city, and might be more states in the South, that nudity was something that they opened the floodgates and made it a business, right? So even me growing up, I never realized why it was so many strip clubs in Atlanta. It was a strip club damn near on every corner or in every hood in Atlanta. And I never understood. I just thought we was just a strip club place. But when you look at this documentary, you start going outside and looking at all the other places, like in Florida and all these other places. You're like, oh, it's a law that was passed, right? And I used to come to like New York when we used to do things, and wherever I go to other cities and be like, man, why these cities ain't popping like Atlanta with the strip clubs? And the law is a real law that gave us the entryway to just have this going. So yeah, that's an Atlanta thing, you know?
Is Magic City the biggest strip club and the most recognized strip club in the U.S.?
Nah, I think it's been a couple, over the years. I think Magic is in the top 3, of course. But like Booby Trap in Miami,
King of Diamonds.
Miami's always had, they've always had these strip clubs.
Turnover, yeah.
And I think
V
Live, I think that's Houston, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Houston, there's a couple of places that's got, but I don't think Houston can get naked though. That's the thing. It's like we talking about nudity as far as strip clubs. It's Miami and Miami.
I think they do
and
topless in Houston, but Atlanta was nudity.
Yeah.
So what made you want
to?
Does
Atlanta need that infrastructure now? Because that's when I think about Magic City. I know people look at it as just a T-ball, but when I'm watching the doc, or even just growing up, I think of it as infrastructure. This is 100%. A place where people went to break records.
No, 100%. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I was going to answer your question. The reason why I wanted to do it is because, we don't talk about the places that actually helped us get to where we are. You know what I mean? That part of hip hop stopped a long time ago. Like, when you watch like Wild Style, right? When there's a person that's not from New York, I watch Wild Style. You can see like how Grandmaster Caz them, what they was doing to become and what made hip hop turn into what it was here in New York. In the later years of hip hop, what shows or anything show kids how we got, how we got to where we are. And I think that, it's important for black establishments to show, like, it's a 40-year-old black establishment. The owner went to jail. They tried to sell his property. He took it back over, and now it's back popping, and now he got a TV show. Like, that's an American dream. You know what I mean? Like, regardless of whatever good or bad, it's a black American dream that we don't ever really be talking about.
Does Atlanta need that infrastructure now?
Huh?
Does it need it now?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, we need it more than everybody. I mean, not just Atlanta. Like, a bunch of cities need to. It's probably a bunch of other cities that's got like 40 to 50-year-old black establishments that I don't even know about.
What do you think ruined strip clubs? Because at one time there was a strip club in every city. They were always big. There was 15 in Atlanta. There was 10 in New York. What do you think ruined the strip club?
Safety, right? I think that's why Magic stands out so much, because you can go in Magic with all your jewelry on. You can go in Magic and be the biggest star in the world and be standing next to the biggest criminal in the world. But whatever would happen somewhere else ain't getting ready to happen at Magic. And I say that proudly because even me, I go to Magic without security, because the security in there gonna take care of me like they if they was working for me. And I feel like it's the safest club in Atlanta. So I feel like the safety of strip clubs and how Magic ran the club, strip club etiquette, I think that's what killed strip clubs for the most part.
Now also I noticed, growing up when we used to go to strip clubs, you go with a couple dollars, right? And you would be fine all night. That's totally changed.
No, that's not. That's just your mental.
Okay.
Right? That's just people's mental space, right? If Magic City's like overly crowded, I'll go stand by the bar and I might spend $500 to $1,000. And by the way,
JD, that's still a lot of money. I was talking about $100, JD.
Okay, but
I'm saying $1,000 at the bar.
I'm just saying, let me put this in perspective so everybody understand what's happening. The other night when Chris Brown was in Atlanta, they spent $200,000 in Magic City. So my little $500 to $1,000 over there in that corner is like $100, man.
Gotcha.
Look at his face. Look at his face.
Because I hear when people say those numbers, and I'm like, I don't believe that.
No, I swear to God.
On
God.
200,000?
On God. 100 went to Chris, right?
I've seen people order 100,000 singles.
100 went to Chris without a doubt. And Magic, they go, when you order the money, they bring a Magic City bag upstairs for you. Backpack.
I got one at the house.
So the backpack had 100 in it. Jada Waiter, y'all know Jada Waiter?
Mm-hmm.
She got about a dub, right? I think, maybe more. P from QC, I think he ordered 40. Right then and there, that's 160
that's
right
crazy.
there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Chris by himself had 100. That's what I'm saying. So if you start splitting it up, I think Bow Wow probably got 10 or 15, 20. You at 200 fast.
So when you was back in the day with BMF, how much did you see them spend that one?
On my album, I have a conversation with Meech, and he says he spent $600,000 one night.
That's insanity.
That's crazy.
What's the most you spent? The night you was in there with Janet, what did you spend?
I mean, I had a limit. Like when everybody heard me say I spent $10,000, that was my limit. So once I got to that 10, I wasn't trying. But by the way, I'm not in there trying to compete. I always felt like, at one point in time when BMF came, or when BMF grew, because I've been in the club with Meech for a long time before BMF was a crew like that. And we used to be at the Gentleman's Club back in when you watched the episode where Magic supposedly was burnt down or whatever, and everybody went to the Gentleman's Club. That's back in the period of time when I actually met Meech, and Meech didn't have the crew of people with him, and we was in the Gentleman's Club. And in the Gentleman's Club, it was like what he's saying. We wasn't really throwing the money. We was just like giving the girls the money, right? And that's where the whole confusion about who started throwing the money came from, because I started doing this in Money in a Thing video, and I know people want to say they did it and did it. Well, you find a video that came out before Money in a Thing where you see rappers throwing money like this, right? And that I never had it wasn't about me trying to challenge nobody. It got to be like when Meech and them crew came, and it was like, oh damn, they throwing more money. We got to throw. It became like a money war. I was never part of that.
We're still talking to Jermaine Dupri. The new docu-series Magic City is out right now, and the soundtrack comes out this Friday. Charlamagne?
When I think about Mariah Carey getting the accolades she got the other night at the VMAs, I don't know if that happens without you. And what I mean by that is Mariah had a fantastic career, but that album was like a comeback album that kind of solidified her forever.
I was talking to her about this yesterday, and I was saying it would have happened without me. But Mariah Mariah is such a New York hip hop person that she wants to gravitate towards this shit, right? As opposed to promoting the Boyz II Men record, which was her first song of the decade, right? She ain't even performed that song the other night. Wow. You know what I'm saying? She got records that's bigger than the records I did that she just we getting ready to do this tonight. This is what we gonna do. I love it because I'm a part of it, but don't get it twisted. These songs is, you know what I mean? She got records that she could do that's like Hero, you know what I mean? These songs that's huge that made her. Mariah had sold 30 million records before I even worked with her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that Charm Bracelet, and then that what was that movie called? I don't even remember now.
Sparkle.
Sparkle. It was dark for her.
Yeah, but one black eye can't kill you.
No, that's true. But then you came back with Emancipation of Mimi, and that's a nuclear bomb.
I mean,
that's not a normal album. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I always look at that I can't take credit for Mariah. She's who she is, and she was who she was before. I'm just happy that she let me be a part of the ride.
I think that puts more pressure on you, though. And what I mean by that is when you're tasked with going in there with an iconic person already and creating something that gets them, back seen the way that they were seen before their, last flop. That says a lot that you was able to accomplish that.
Then it put pressure on me.
I would think so back then.
Nah, because I don't think about it. The thing about it is when I go in the studio with people, I don't get caught up in what's happening in their life. And I think that was what was going on in her life outside of the studio. I go in the studio and I'm like, I say this all the time. When I work with Aretha Franklin, she made me realize, listen, if you going to be in here working and I'm going to pay you and we going to let you get this credit, you better say what the you got to say. If I sound bad, if I don't even sound halfway good, she was like, tell me to do it again. And I'm like, I can't tell Aretha Franklin nothing. Like, this Aretha Franklin. But the way she was talking to me was like, I flew you here to Detroit to cut my vocals.
Damn.
So what you gonna do? You gonna sit there and just watch me? Or if that's, I'm going home. That's what she told me. She says, literally, I'm going home. That's what you're gonna do. And that's when I sat there for a minute. I'm like, you know what? I gotta do this. I just gotta be brutally honest with artists. And when it came to Emancipation of Mimi, we belong together. We made the song. I'm like, listen, Mariah, if you don't hit the note at the end of the record ain't gonna be what people want the record to be. They want you to. That's what they want.
Yeah,
we gotta give them what they want. And it was like nobody else wanted to say this. I had to say it, and I had to be like, you know, if you don't like me for saying what is real, then why are we in the room together?
What was one artist that didn't like you being brutally honest? That was like, nah, this is not for me.
Nobody. I don't think nobody. I mean, I think everybody they don't want to address it, but when it's right, they like, oh, okay, you know. But a lot of them, like, you know, Bow Wow didn't like, oh, I think they like me. Usher didn't
Bow Wow
like.
seems like you wrestle with him every time you're in the studio. That's what Bow Wow seems.
But I'm saying Usher didn't like You Make Me Wanna. And you have to sit there and be like, man,
that's crazy.
Why? What are you listening to that make you not like this song?
What was it about the emancipation of Mimi that got her back to where she needed to be? Was it the freedom that maybe you provided? Because I saw the Brat telling this story about how Tommy Mottola got guns pulled on you because you let Mariah go to Burger King.
I didn't let them do nothing. They pulled off and went on their own. But yeah.
So tell the story, because I don't know the story.
Okay, so the first time I started working with Mariah, I decided to do a Always Be My Baby remix, right? So I brought Escape and the Brat to her house that was out in upstate with her and Tommy. And this was the first time I started bringing my people around Mariah. And I brought Brat. Her and Brat kicked it. They hit it off. And she convinced Brat, or either Brat convinced her, let's take a trip in the car, just me and you, and go to McDonald's or some old like
so they
this.
left together, no security,
They left
nothing.
the ground without me knowing, and showed up in the studio like, what's going on? I'm like, I seen was running around like, and it all was looking at me like, JD, this your person. She done ran off with Mariah, and I'm like, what the f-? Like, that was a crazy moment. This is my first time being there. This is my first time at her house. And I bring some over. This is just like a story. You bring some over to the house, and this what happened. And I'm in the house like this, like I'm just trying to make a record, man. What the is going on?
So you called Brat, like, where you at?
Yeah, I called her. She's like, we just getting some fries. And I'm like, what? Why? And she was saying that Mariah just, like, at that period in time, Mariah was, you know, this was a different type of success life at this point.
Real
Mariah
celebrity.
She wasn't the artist that could go outside and go to McDonald's, or she wasn't even doing that. Like, she was sheltered in the house, and she just wanted to get out, and Brat was her person that was ready to go escape and do it.
That's great.
So was it that level of freedom you provided her? That's what the album's called The Emancipation of Mimi.
No, I think I make Mariah comfortable, right? And I don't fake with her about the music that we should make, and I think that's what makes her feel free, because I'm telling anybody, if you sing, make singing records, man. Like, ain't like, I get it, you want to rap, and I'm a rapper at heart, but I learned how to make music, and I learned through the success that I've had that these people want these records to sound like the records that they know. The audience don't change, right? So I just have to keep beating that in people's minds and letting them know, like, listen, you might want to change your up, but the person that's listening, they want the new Mariah record to sound like the Mariah record that they heard before.
Yeah.
And that's always a hard fight with artists.
Did you ever take her to Magic City?
Yeah, no. She won't. She probably won't go to that. That ain't her bag.
Now back to Usher. You said Usher didn't like make me wanna.
Yeah.
Why not? What was the problem with that?
I don't know.
And how'd you force him to finally do it?
Well, I mean, I didn't have to force him, but he just let me know it wasn't like that wasn't where he felt he should be coming with. At this point in time, Usher was still not sure where his career was gonna go, so he still cut the song, luckily. But if we was in that space right now, he not gonna cut the song. Right now, he ain't gonna be like, I don't with that song.
So right now, he don't care. If he don't like it, I'm not doing it.
It's not even gonna get cut.
Even now? Like,
Yeah,
I would trust you to...
Nah, right. He gonna be like, that's right now, I'll be like, yo, Usher, please cut this song. Usher turned his phone off. Like,
when your name is mentioned 50 years from now, what's the one record or one artist you want to define your legacy?
I don't know who the artist is. Somebody great. I mean, I think like watching Mariah get Vanguard Award and her performing in that piece 2 of records that I did. I think that means a lot. You know what I mean? Like, almost like you saying, it's like my records are loud enough to make people damn near believe that I had something to do with her success. To me, that's a mean accomplishment because I didn't have anything to do with her becoming who she is.
No, that's not true. That's not true. I mean, no, because it's a second wave.
Yeah, but I'm saying I think I might have made more black people like her.
Yes,
but she's still Mariah Carey.
Yeah, but it says something when you to me. I mean,
I get it,
and that's her best album.
I get it. And
Emancipation Mimi is Mariah Carey's best album.
Absolutely,
that's probably the definitive album of her whole career. That's her Thriller. It just is.
I don't know.
We're still talking to Jermaine Dupri. The new docu-series Magic City is out right now, and the soundtrack comes out this Friday. Charlamagne?
What's the hardest personal sacrifice you've made for your career?
Life. I don't really have no life. I just be making music. You know what I mean? And I have people that tell me this all the time. Like, JD, you don't really, my baby mothers be saying this. Like, your life is the music. All you do is care about the music. All you care about is putting out records. All you care about is doing what you're doing every day. And that's the truth. It is. That's what it is. I don't care about nothing else.
You don't enjoy the money? You don't go on vacation?
I mean, that come along with it, but that's not a chase for me.
Right.
Like, my chase is to be, like what they said on the Billboard. I get number one. I feel like I finally did something by getting number one on that list.
But then it's never enough because you want more.
Nah, but now it's like, but it's also like fighting. It's like boxing. You gotta. Can you stay in that space, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like watching Floyd and Tyson talk about they gonna fight. It's like Floyd retired, but he still want to be the best. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm not saying I'm retired. I'm out here. So I just know that like I also know that there's space in hip hop and R&B that hasn't been touched. What I'm doing, going from 92 and becoming the number one producer of the 21st century in 2025 ain't been seen ever, right? So if you start doing shit that ain't never been seen, you don't have no reason. I don't have no reason to stop. I just gotta, pray to God that don't stop. You know what I mean?
It's funny. I wonder if hip hop limits Jermaine Dupri. And what I mean by that is when people start talking about who's the greatest producers of all time, they'll start, naming a bunch of people who do a lot of hip hop records, right? But you got to just say Jermaine is a musician. If you said Jermaine is just a musical producer, then I think the conversation is a little bit different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's hard, man, because I feel like I switch up on people so much. When I'm in R&B mode, I'm not talking about no rap, right? I remember one time I came up here and I was so R&B'd out, and I'm waving the flag for R&B, and I ain't talking about nothing rap. I think that confuses the podcast and the guys that usually talk to me about. They like, wait a minute, I thought this was money and a thing, and you was, Magic City. This over here talking about you want to make division records. You know what I mean? I think that throws the whole thing off because I do switch. I mean, that's the only way I can do it. That's the only way I can make it is to get away from one thing for a minute and go into that space and be 100% in that space.
Is there a media bias even towards the South? Because I think about that with the producers and the artists. Because there's some artists from the South who should be getting mentioned as top lyricists all the time. There's some producers from the South who should be getting mentioned as top producers.
I just think that, and I want to send Bank a shout out because I feel like his interview with Thug
fantastic
pushes
brilliant.
Finally, somebody in Atlanta to the forefront of hip hop media in the city of Atlanta, and I think it's taken 30 years for somebody in the city of Atlanta to be the person that you have to sit down and talk to if you that guy in hip hop, and he just made himself that person. If you ask me,
he killed it.
Yeah, man, I'm glad you said that because I said it on the air. Regional identity matters in media,
100%, and everything.
And Atlanta's been the hip hop capital for so long, but have never had that media person. Salute to Grave Street and all, but they've never had that person you gotta go.
And I think that's the problem. It's like every time somebody from Atlanta that's popped, they always had to come to New York. And no disrespect, but I've been saying it should have been somebody that did what he did with Future, Ludacris. When T.I. got out of jail, we done had so many artists that have so many stories, or they missed the opportunity like what just happened with Thug because we don't have that person in the city. And that goes to the culture. Like, people should, like I just saw the magazine out there with you on the front cover of Variety. I never seen that before, right? In Atlanta, I don't think young people read and see things like that to push them to say, you know what? I want to do what Charlamagne doing, man. I want to do what Envy doing. He got a car show. Like, they don't see that enough to distract them. All they see is JD throwing money and this throwing money. I'm rapping. I'm gonna be a rapper. Nah, you ain't gotta be no rapper. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Bank getting ready to hit the bank.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Based on what he just did, that one interview, as far as I'm concerned, if he do what he gotta do and he keep it at that level, and the way he talked to him, it makes you gonna have people that really want to sit down and like let you interview him the same way you did.
And Big Facts has already been that platform to me.
Yeah.
Right? And then now to see Bank doing the perspective with Banks, I agree with you 100%.
But it took 30 years. That's what I'm saying. It took 30 years for somebody to say, this what we need. I'm gonna do it like this, right? Sure. And I'm really happy to see that. I feel like that's gonna change the city, because that's going somebody gonna see that and they gonna create another one, right? And at that point, that world will open up. Because when I came here, I think the beginning of me talking about Magic City, I was like, yo, everybody in New York got a fucking podcast. I mean, everywhere I went, everybody got a podcast. Clue and them got one across the street in a little bar.
Fat Joe.
Everybody, Fat Joe and them. I was going to all of them. I mean, Carmelo and them out in Brooklyn. It's a podcast everywhere. And I was just like, this bug ain't hit Atlanta yet.
Nah, they got them in Atlanta. Because you got Big Facts, you got Bank, you got 85 South shows in Atlanta, you got Paul Mind podcast based out of Atlanta. That's 4.
Y'all got about 20 out there.
That is
you
true.
know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's just, and they moving. Y'all got 20 out here that's moving. I'm just saying, these guys that you like, the 85 South show, I think that's probably the closest next. But after that, it ain't no real, like, ain't nobody you gotta talk to.
Paul Mind is big. You should sit down, Paul.
But you ain't gotta talk to him. That's all I'm saying. I'm just talking about as far as like, if you one of these people, I feel like we ain't had nobody that you have to talk to. Like if they was like, call me, call the record company, like Joe Jermaine, who you want to have a in-depth conversation with? And then your name gonna come up, and then who's the competitor to Charlamagne in Atlanta?
You know, Minds ain't from Atlanta too. You know, they're from Houston.
But they're based in Atlanta.
They're based in Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
So I just feel like Bank put himself in the category.
I agree.
To get,
he did, yeah, absolutely.
You know, the Gucci Mans, all of these people that we want to hear.
Gunna should be calling Bank right now.
Yeah, 100%.
Gunna should be calling Bank like, yo, I need to come sit down with you, and just to not saying reply, but.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, but it ain't even like
we've never heard his side. We've never heard him talk.
It's just like I said, he just made it where, like Oprah Winfrey, like you want to watch it, you want to hear it, and he's not gonna hold back on the questions, and he's creditable in that category to where you can't run no bullshit on him.
That's right,
because he gonna let you know you running some bullshit.
That's what I love. He wasn't afraid to push back.
Nah, but I mean, he don't have no. That's him. You know what I'm saying? He the guy that told me when I said, he's like, JD, we thought you want to be from New York. That's who told me that. Right? And I'm like, nah, I wasn't trying to be from New York. I'm trying to just push my music. And I just feel like I said, I applaud him on that interview. He did it.
Well, JD, I know you got to run.
Well, yeah, I mean, before I go, I got an album. I think my album's coming out on Friday. I think, because I had a lot of sample clearance issues. It was supposed to come out last Friday. To go with the doc, but I'm hoping it comes out this Friday because this is the last episode of Magic City this Friday. So we're trying to make sure the album comes out, and I'm supposed to turn it in by 4:00. So that's what my running is doing.
All right.
That's what my phone is doing
All right. Well, JD, Jermaine Dupri, make sure you check out the Magic City doc and, of course, the album. We appreciate you always for joining us.
Thank you.
It's The Breakfast Club. It's JD.
And always a great time having a conversation with Jermaine Dupri.
Salute to JD.
Guy's done a lot in this business.
Sure has.
You know?
Continues to do more. Morning, everybody. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get to the latest with Loren.
Loren becoming a straight fact.
She gets them from somebody that knows somebody.
She gets the details.
I'm the homegirl that knows a little bit about everything.
She be having the latest on this.
The latest with Loren LoRosa.
Sometimes she have facts, sometimes she have details, sometimes she have a little bit of everything.
Well, it's the latest.
On The Breakfast Club.
So So Derek Dixon, who is the man who accused Tyler Perry of sexual assault, sat down for his first interview after the filing with NBC News. And in this interview, he went over just basically and recounted, like, you know, what he filed in the lawsuit. So they have a conversation about what he alleges happened. You guys remember that's the lawsuit for like $260 million.
That's the white dude, right?
Yes. Yep. Who was an actor on, you know, some of Tyler Perry's shows.
Mm-hmm.
So they talk about a bunch of different things. So they get into what some of the instances that he alleges happens, and one of the things he goes into is him alleging that Tyler Perry touched his butt. Let's take a listen.
2021, another alleged incident that you outline in your lawsuit where you're again at Tyler Perry's home in Atlanta, and it ends up with you locking yourself in a bathroom.
We started out having drinks in the living room like we have done before, and it got to a point in the night where, you know, we were both kind of feeling drunk, and I remember we were walking back to the guest area where I've stayed before, and there was this health monitor scale on the way. And I was like, what is that? And he said, well, you have to be in your underwear to measure, you know, whatever, so you should do it. He reached down and pulled my underwear down and grabbed my ass, and I, you know, tried to stop him and pull back my underwear up, and he kind of grabbed my arms and said, no, it's okay, just go with it. And I said, you know, stop, I don't want to be naked, I don't want this. And he was just like, no, I'm not going to hurt you, and just continued.
Yes, so he talks about that a bit. What? Why are you looking at Envy like that, Charlamagne?
I am not looking at Envy. Stop trying to be funny, Lauren. Tell your story.
You were looking at Envy.
I was not looking at Envy. You are crazy. You've been in this room too long.
I will.
But continue to do what?
But you mean with Tyler Perry?
Yes, continue the story.
Yeah, going back to the audio. Yes, the story. He said, and then he continued. Continue to do what?
So basically, because he talks about another time too where he like stayed at that basically he was saying that despite him not wanting Tyler, or showing allegedly that he didn't want Tyler Perry's advances, Tyler Perry still continued to, you know, throw advances his way allegedly and things of that nature. Now,
what is funny about this, Lauren?
No, I'm laughing at you, Charlamagne. You're getting on my nerves.
Why? What?
I'm going back to my story. Now, he also talks about some of the text messages that they exchanged, because Tyler Perry's team is denying all of this. Tyler Perry's attorney, Matthew Boyd, is saying that this is someone who obviously got close to Tyler Perry, but it was because this was all a scam or a shakedown. Now, let's take a listen to him on what the text message conversations they had.
The complaint includes multiple screenshots of text messages allegedly between Dixon and Perry.
Picture where he's on the jet ski. Well, I said, nice picture. And he said, yeah, the water looks calm. And he said, nice picture. You don't see that stud in that picture? Rude. And I said, LOL, yes, that's a stud. And all these texts, I tried to de-escalate them and make a joke out of them.
Some of the messages more sexual in nature.
One of them says, what's it going to take for you to have guiltless sex? Have y'all found that in therapy yet? I would hope that you would let someone hold you and make love to you.
Jess, I wish you would.
Who was the stud in the picture?
He said Tyler Perry was the stud.
Yeah, so it was a photo in the text message of Tyler Perry on the side of a jet ski.
Might be a stud.
No, like not that type of stud, Jess. Like the stud, like a handsome, like a, you know, like a
like me,
like a daddy.
Definitely not you.
Like a daddy.
Wow.
You know.
Oh, so they called. That's the new term. They called handsome men studs.
Yes, it's always been that way. Men have always been studs. Like they said, stud man. You're not, no, that don't sound right. Hold on.
Stud man.
But that's like an 80s term.
It's an older term. A stud. He's a stud.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
Now they also talked about the fact that this lawsuit he's asking for $260 million. They want to know, how did you even get to this number?
For a butt grab?
What?
Right. That's what I say. What else did he continue
you entitled to conversation. I've seen a man grab your butt before.
Oh my goodness. It was you.
That's a lie.
That's my story.
Don't lie.
That's my story.
So how did he get to that number?
Right. Let's take a listen to the audio.
260 from a butt squeeze.
In your lawsuit for damages totaling $260 million. How did you arrive at that number?
Yeah, part of that number is my lost job, my lost income, the loss of the show.
260.
The other part of that is a deterrent for, how do you stop a billionaire who won't stop themselves from doing this?
That's a lot of money. So he was gonna make 260.
Listen, they said Tyler Perry paid a lot, but 260 for $260 million.
All right, half of that. 130. He was gonna make 130
for the show. And then what show was he on? He lost his job. What show was he on where Tyler Perry was paying him
Booty
even
and
a
Black.
third of that? What is it?
What's the show?
No, he was starring,
not in Beauty and the Black because I watched that. And
he was starring on the Oval.
that was one of his biggest
Hey, man,
shows.
let the
That was
record show I don't believe this man, okay?
I don't believe him either.
I don't care what y'all think. Be mad. I don't believe this guy.
I just hate the fact that somebody who accuses somebody can do interviews
Why exactly
before the actual court case.
That makes no why is this who the interview with?
He sat down with ABC.
Why is ABC supposed to be a reputable news
Even-
organization, even entertaining this? Well, like what has he presented for y'all to entertain this and give him an interview?
It doesn't make sense. Before they go to actual trial, they're able to do that. And if there's a jury, the jury hears one side.
Sick of y'all.
Tyler Perry will never be able to do that because he's being sued. So his lawyers are going to advise him to shut the F up to the trial. So you're only going to hear one side. I just think the whole thing is effed up. But if he does get 260 for a butt grab, I'm coming for you.
He's not giving. First of all, I don't have that type of money.
Maybe it's because he's white as well that this is happening.
I can see that.
Maybe they thought the story would be better and it would stick more because he's white. So
I can see
that's
that.
why.
Well, guess what? I don't believe any of it.
Yeah, and Tyler Perry's attorney Matthew Boyd also said that Tyler Perry refuses to be shaken down and that they are confident these fabricated claims of harassment will fail in response to this sit-down interview. Yes.
I just want to say one last thing. I just said Charlamagne, it gives me 260 for grabbing my butt. Charlamagne didn't say he didn't grab my butt. He just said he don't have 260. But
I don't know why he gonna say to me why I can't get through the story, and he in here giving you all these faces while this story is
Why are you
happening.
making this up,
There's
Lord?
cameras in here, Charlamagne. Like who
got cameras? You just be talking. I don't understand
But
it.
Envy is a part-time victim. He phony. He like to be a victim when he
You
wants.
see what I'm
like,
saying? He
boy.
want to be a stud so bad.
Yeah,
Envy pop up
seen
on
butt
ABC.
I've seen you come in and grab Charlamagne nipple.
Now
You
we
also
talking.
hug him from
now,
the back
I
a
got
lot
witnesses.
too, Envy. Yeah, you do
I've
hug him
seen
from the
it.
back a lot.
I got witnesses.
Nipple and butt is not the same thing.
Who says?
Diddy's nipples got brought into court.
Damn.
He sure
Lauren,
did.
you on a roll this morning. You just don't
Ain't
think nothing
she?
serious no more, do you? You've been in this room way too long.
First of all-
okay, I've told you a million times I'm not mature enough to have certain conversations. I think it's starting to rub off on you. You used to be the mature one.
Diddy's nipples did make it into court. I was trying to give Envy some help
Everybody's
here.
nipples make it in the court. How can you leave your nipples in the car?
Yo, please,
What are you talking about?
get me out of
Crazy
here.
to say this.
Please, get me out of here. And
Where do your nipples not make
the
it?
Dixon guy,
I like that
Derek
one.
Dixon said it's been humiliation and all of that from him coming out, and now look at you up here,
All
or
I
not
said is I
coming
don't
out, but
believe him.
talking about these alleged claims.
I haven't made. All I said is I don't believe him.
And then you talking about nipples and
You the one brought nipples
All right.
into the
Okay.
court.
All right, gals.
Okay.
All right, gals.
It's
All
been
right.
humiliation, but you at Tyler Perry house having glasses of wine at night, and y'all walk into a guest area like you did many times before, and you get a little ass grab, and now you want 260.
First of all, we don't know. We don't know if he got his ass grabbed. You
That,
can't-
well,
you
yeah,
can't-
but from his story, and we've done this before many of times. Oh, all right. So what happened on other nights, Goofy?
I don't believe him.
All
I
right.
don't either.
Okay.
All right. Well, that
Sue
is
me
the
for not
latest-
believing him. I have the right to not believe
Sue
people.
me.
Okay. You know what I mean?
All right.
you are kind of childish because why did you
He's
say it
very
like
childish.
that?
Why say it like that?
Sue me.
You can. That's my opinion.
Nah, boo boo.
Who you giving your donkey to?
A young lady named Erica Harper. She is disgusting as well. Okay, she needs to come to the front of the congregation. We would like to have a word with her. Our elders deserve better.
All right. We'll get to that next. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
I just wanted to know how you came up with the donkey of the day.
Because you're mean.
I am not. What did I do?
I made donkey of the day.
There's a bunch of donkeys out here in the street.
That is why Charlamagne is here.
If we live a life where we bite our tongue based off who we may offend, we never would say anything.
On the Breakfast Club.
In the words of Charlamagne the God, he's a donkey. That was
Oh man, Charlamagne, he's giving donkey of the day to who now?
Well, Buster Rhymes, Donkey of the Day for Wednesday, September 10th goes to Erica Hopper of Washington, D.C. She is 45 years old, and she's accused of big scamming. Okay, I'm talking wham, bam, thank you, scam. All right, super Saiyan scamming. And let me tell you something. If there's two things that grind my gears, it's when people take advantage of kids and the elderly. Funny how life works, okay? We start off as kids that need their asses wiped by others and then grow to be elders that need their asses wiped by others. But either way, neither version deserves to be taken advantage of, and nothing hurts worse than watching kids or the elderly getting taken advantage of by their own family. And that's exactly what Erica Hopper did. She is accused of making more than $266,000 in unauthorized purchases from an old man's account. Would you like to know who the old man was? Let's go to NBC4 for the report, please.
Montgomery County Police accuse 45-year-old Erica Hopper of embezzlement, theft, and fraud when her grandfather went to an assisted living home in Silver Spring following the death of his wife of 60-plus years. Hopper gained power of attorney. In the statement of charges against her, police accuse her of using that to spend her grandfather's money, including from the sale of his house, on herself from November of 2021 until June of this year. Expenditures listed include payments on a 2022 Kia Stinger, the payoff of credit card balances on 2 cards, stage area seats at an Usher concert, elective cosmetic surgery, trips to New Orleans and Las Vegas, designer clothing and accessories, and rent payments totaling more than $266,000. Charging documents accuse Hopper of listing her grandfather's pension and Social Security, making him a co-tenant, to qualify for an apartment at a luxury building steps from Union Market in Northeast D.C. Police say he remained in the nursing home during that time.
Really, Erica? Your 95-year-old grandfather? If your grandfather touching that kind of paper, he probably got you in the will anyway. If your grandfather touching that kind of paper, you could have probably just asked him for what you want. Then you get the money and spend it on a new car, luxury apartment, cosmetic surgery. What, you got a BBL? Luxury clothing? Concert tickets? Who did you go see, the Ratchet? Oh, you wanted to have big fun on your grandfather's dime. She actually went to go see Usher and didn't even get no cherries. Now, I know you had power of attorney for your grandfather, Erica, but that doesn't mean power to exploit, okay? We was just talking about this earlier because Cardi B was on Jennifer Hudson saying how your kids are, going to take care of you when you get older. They supposed to. You should be able to rely on family when you get older, but you can't change a player's game in the 9th inning, okay? Once a scammer, always a scammer. And no, Erica is not Nigerian. I know you was thinking it, but a Nigerian would never do their grandfather like this because Nigerians understand those who respect the elderly pave their own road towards success. The Bible even says you should submit to your elders with humility. That's 1 Peter 5:5. Erica, you was not humble. You was arrogant. Crazy thing is, you wasn't scamming your grandfather. You were scamming yourself. Okay, what kind of soulless person steals from a 95-year-old, especially a person who was probably going to leave you something anyway? Elders are supposed to pass down blessings, not get bled dry by their own bloodlines, okay? I don't know who needs to hear this morning, but please listen to your Uncle Charla. Taking advantage of old folks ain't hustling. That's heartless. Okay, if you'll rob your own grandfather, you'll rob anybody. And that's why you, Erica, should have to deal with maximum consequences. They need to make an example of you. That man is 95. He fought through segregation and probably 2 hip replacements. Okay, he should not have to fight his own granddaughter for his bank account. Please give Erica Hopper the sweet sounds of the Hamiltons.
Oh, now you are the donkey of the day. You are the donkey of the day. Yee-haw.
Gotta make an example of her.
Now, I was thinking, let me ask you a question.
What?
That's your granddaughter. She stole from you. It's wrong. It's foul. But do you press charges on your granddaughter to go to jail?
Now I got dementia. I don't even remember. Go ahead. Y'all do what y'all do, but I don't know nothing. Make sure my money's back in my account.
That's your
Make
granddaughter.
sure my money back in my account. I don't remember.
It's foul. It's horrible. But do you press charges on your granddaughter?
It's not about whether or not he presses charges on her.
Well, some other family
She's
member
getting charges pressed on her because she committed a crime.
Well, some other family members.
She needs some type of consequence. Like
Yes.
you said, I mean, you press charges on her little ass, man. And then, like
That's
Charlie
your
said, man, she
granddaughter,
was
though.
right. But she was probably in the will anyway if he touching that type of paper. Like, you
Yep.
don't even know. That's crazy. You don't know.
Because she probably going to go to jail for some time. Like, this ain't no 30
And
days.
she made a choice.
But that's your granddaughter.
She's a 45-year-old woman who made a choice.
Still your granddaughter.
Choices have consequences.
I agree, but still your granddaughter.
I don't care.
You know better.
What you talking about? Did she care about me as a grandfather when she was stealing from me?
No, it was wrong.
Man, shut up.
But you still don't want
What would you do at 90 years old and Madison's daughter do this to you? You 90.
I don't want her to go to jail.
What?
It's foul. It's wrong. I'm not saying saying it's right. But you still don't want your granddaughter. Your granddaughter? All right, well, forget it. All right, well, thank you
And
for
then, first of all, Charlamagne, who was thinking that they was Nigerian? Why you had to say that?
Who said that?
You.
I'm tired of y'all accusing me of things I didn't say.
No, you did. You said, I know everybody thinking it's Nigerian. Nobody. How
That
you
never
know
happened.
what somebody thinking?
Never happened. Roll the tape. Never happened. Never said
A
that.
clown.
Never said that.
All right. Well, thank you for that donkey today.
Fake news.
Now, when we come back,
Jess
Shaka,
Hilarious hoax.
I wouldn't say that. When we come back, Shaka Senghor is joining us. He has a new
Man.
book, How to Be Free, a proven guide to escaping life's hidden prison.
This is my guy. He's also he's a New York Times bestselling author. I'm sure you've read some of Shaka's work before. Me and Shaka was actually at Rikers Island a couple of days ago talking to the inmates because, that's where he does a lot of his work. And he always shows up for me for my mental wealth expos, man. Just a really good brother. And this book right here is really good because so many of us are trapped in hidden prisons that we cannot get out of, and he has created a guide to help us get out of them. So.
All right, we'll get to that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
Yes, indeed.
Shaka Senghor. Welcome back, brother. How you feeling?
Man, I'm blessed. Thank y'all so much for having me back.
Man, Shaka just put out an amazing new body of work, man. A new book, How to Be Free, a proven guide to escaping life's hidden prisons, man. What is a hidden prison?
It's the things that you don't see that stand in the way of you living the best life for yourself, right? So when I thought about this big idea and created this kind of blueprint to help people live the life that they're fully capable of and fully deserving of, I recognized that we all had these hidden prisons, self-doubt, negative self-talk. That's one of the big things that kind of stand in the way. But it's also things like anger, grief, shame, things from our childhood that really doesn't allow us to show up fully and authentically in our full potential.
Mm-hmm. I know you got the book out, but there's
Absolutely.
a lot that's been going on, and I figured you would be the right person to ask some questions about.
For sure.
Everything going on in Atlanta, it seems like people, I wouldn't say glorify the street and glorify things that happen in the street. And I feel like sometimes people don't know how to get out of it, right? You see what happened in Atlanta. Everybody's a snitch. This person's a rat.
Right.
When do you get to an age, or when do you tell those youngins that says, hey, it's not worth it? We see what's happening, but it seems like they don't learn their lesson. So what do you tell one of those little young brothers out there?
That's a prison that's not hidden, but they in it.
Well, I think one of the things with our culture, specifically like hip hop culture, is we've kind of intermingled the idea that these guys are really street guys. And really, they artists, they're kids who are trying to figure out how to make money using the talent, but also using the stories from a background that society has sold us on as being like the way to show up in the world, right? Like the only way we can make it. And what I tell the young people is that it's made way more money in legitimate enterprise. And like I was pretty decent with street sales, but I can tell you I make way more money in legitimate enterprise, and the accessibility to it now is something we see. I mean, like, well, you can take a phone and build a whole career, right? And so I think we have to separate, like, what's really the streets from, like, what's music culture and these kids pretending to be street guys. Because it's kind of ridiculous if you think about it. If you're making all this money in music, then why are you going backwards? Because there's not many guys that's really financially successful coming for the streets. Like, and I mean, you talk to any of the guys that actually are, recognized from being in that environment, they'll tell you most guys don't make real money in the streets. Most guys are basically minimum wage, workers. So if you're making all this legitimate money in music, why would you kind of try to intermingle that with this identity that's not real?
Man, that's a great point. And what do you say to people who act like the streets is an industry? And what I mean by that is you'll have folks that'll say things to you like, well, who determines what's legal and illegal? Or who determines what's right and what's wrong? Because they'll say there's people out here that make money selling alcohol. There's people out here that's making money selling marijuana now. I'm like, that's not the same. Like, the streets is not a real industry.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a kind of dispersed industry, right? It's like anything goes. But when you look at how, for example, the marijuana industry, right, how that's evolved to become legitimate enterprise, right? Like, that's where we should be focusing. How do we change laws and policies to work to our advantage instead of being, victimized by these policies and then somebody else reaps all the benefits? And so, I'm always telling, the young people that I mentor is really think about how do you get ownership in whatever it is you're interested in. Like I've been in Silicon Valley for 3 years, which actually was one of the inspirations for writing this book, because I work with people that's like ultra wealthy, and yet I see them have kind of like some of the same prisons that, I see people in the neighborhood. I've seen people who was actually in real prison have that same kind of mental blocks that doesn't allow them to show up authentically. Even though it looks like they got all the trappings of success, they're still not happy and fulfilled. So that's, to me, it's more like, how are you getting equity, but also how are you creating like the mental equity to really live the life that you want to live?
I got one more question with that. Is there a code when it comes to the street, in your opinion? But we had a conversation about code. Is there a code? Is there a code that you're supposed to follow? Or is it just, it's a legal activity? You know what I mean? Or is there something that, guidelines that should be followed?
I mean, I grew up in the era of like crack cocaine, so I can't speak to if there's codes. Now, I haven't been in the streets in like 30-some years. I'm 53 years old, man. Successful businessman. I'm an entrepreneur, married. I got a kid. I got investments. But I do, I still do a lot of work with people in prison and in the neighborhoods. And, I kind of know that the codes are really your personal values, right? Everybody can say that they're real until them handcuffs go on, until you're in that interrogation room and you're really facing a life sentence. And that's what we don't talk about, is how many different ways you can end up serving life without actually even really doing anything meaningful, just by associations, right? When you're talking about those RICO charges, a lot of these guys not making real money. They just around, and then you get swooped up. And the way the feds play is they're going to load up everything they can charge you with, and then most likely you'll plead out, which is like 95% of people do. But yeah, I stay out the streets. I'm out here just being a grown married man.
But we try to tell these youngers that to stay out the streets.
Absolutely.
Like, you know what I mean? It ain't worth it. And any little bit of money you were going to make, or any little bit of clout you were going to make, ain't like worth the 10 life sentences, 2 life sentences, or 1 life sentence. You know what I mean? It ain't worth it missing your family, your wife, your kids. It ain't worth it, man.
The 19 years in prison that I served, I watched life go by. I came home, my younger siblings were adults. My nephews and nieces didn't even know me. They had to get to know me. And so you can't replace those years. There's nothing you can do to get that time back. And this is what I can tell you for sure about prison life, is the toughest break under those circumstances. Everybody, when they head hit that pillow at night, they're wishing that they would have made different life choices. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't wish that on anybody. And I try to discourage guys. I think one of the things I will say that I'm proud of, that I'm starting to see in our culture, is more interest being, placed on actually legitimate financial investments. I think about what the young brothers doing with Earn Your Leisure. I think about Wallow and some of the brothers I've been able to interact with. And I'm like, yo, that's a move right there, because it's still cool. At the end of the day, if it's really about making money, investments is a way to make a lot of money, and that's the freedom that I even talk about in the book, is like financial freedom. How are you taking advantage of these opportunities that's really right in front of you? And my philosophy is simple. I came from 19 years in prison, 7 years in solitary confinement, to becoming really, really successful, not only as an author, but also as an investor. And so my philosophy is like, if I can do it coming from those circumstances, what excuse you got? You know what I mean? So I tell my mentees, you got to take every excuse off the table, because I've done all the hard work for you. And that's what I've done in this book. Is like, here's a framework and a blueprint for you to literally live the freest life possible.
We're still kicking it with Shaka Senghor. His new book, How to Be Free, A Proven Guide to Escaping Life's Hidden Prisons. Charlamagne?
One of the biggest hidden prisons I see is people, being defined by their past mistakes, or not knowing how to let go of their past mistakes. So how do you keep from being defined by your past mistakes when the system and sometimes even your own people want to keep you stuck there?
Man, I stay out the comment section. It's brutal out there, man. No, but really, it's a lot of self-affirming care, right? It's like negative self-talk is one of the biggest self-imposed prisons I've found, where even successful people are doubting themselves, or dealing with imposter syndrome. Like, why am I in this room? Do I really belong in this room? And so for me, the way that I've kind of mapped my life out is really through writing it down. Like, journaling is one of the greatest hacks in life. Is like, when you see it, you can be super clear on, hey, here's who I actually am, not who they say I am. I get judged all the time. Like, why are you able to do some of these things? You went to I went to prison for a homicide. It's one of the most regrettable acts in my life, and it's something I could never undo, which is why I'm so conscious about talking to the young guys about the decisions that they make. And I've also lived 15 years of freedom where I've been able to create, a lot of value for communities that I'm in. I've invested in community in the real way. And so I've done way more good than I've done bad. But the reality is people are going to bring that up. They're going to judge you for that. And so that's why that self-talk is so important. And journaling and really writing it down and getting super clear about who you are really is what makes the world a different.
Do you feel like trauma is the root of all hidden prisons?
I think trauma is one of the core anchoring pieces of the hidden prisons. A lot of how we see our lives has been shaped by our childhood. And there's like big trauma and small trauma, right? Mm-hmm. But I think it's really shaped by just negative experiences, because some don't quite rise to the level of trauma, but they do rise to the level of like making you think about something in a way that's unpleasant. And I think that's where a lot of the negative self-talk comes from. It's like, you're in an environment, somebody's like, oh, you can't accomplish that. And now you've adopted, that's not necessarily trauma, it's just negative input. But now it has you questioning whether you can accomplish a thing or not, right? And so I think there's like the kind of big trauma, and then there's like this kind of small negative inputs.
How do we use your new book, How to Be Free, to shift from telling young people, especially young brothers, to do better, to actually creating healing spaces that deal with that trauma?
That's a great question. I think we saw a lot of that yesterday when we was at Rikers. So one of the things that I've done with this book is I started the largest book club in prisons. So we gave the book away to 1,300 prisons, to about 1 million people who are incarcerated.
Wow.
Because I want to make sure that they had access to this information and this framework so that they can live the most free life possible, even though their circumstances doesn't look free. And I think what we do is we start study groups. We start to really have these deep conversations. And it was mind blowing to see how the people who are incarcerated leaned into this book specifically.
Absolutely.
They had questions, they had thoughts, they had all these things, because we did create a real framework within the book for them to kind of, guide the conversation. And it was amazing, to really see how that played out. And I would love to do that out here, where we started to connect the dots, especially in our culture, where it's like, it's wild sometimes when I think about rap and all the things that they're rapping about. I'm like, I really lived that life. Mm-hmm. But I may not be the person that they see as being accessible, because I'm not over indexing on my past. I'm like, listen, I'm living a whole different life, and I want to bring you to this part of it, not that old life, you know what I mean? But I think this is a book opportunity that, I would love to see more brothers and sisters in the culture like starting study groups and think tanks around this framework, because it really is one of those problems. And we don't have nothing like it in our culture, right? Like, when I was set out to write this particular book, I really was like, man, I thought about the books that helped me in my life while I was incarcerated. As a Man Thinketh, The Secret, Man's Search for Meaning, all these books. And I didn't see any book that was authored by somebody who really had lived an experience that I had lived. And so I was like, oh, it's up to me to create that. And that's how we ended up with this book. And shout out to my brother, Ben Horowitz, who actually encouraged me to write a lesson book, which was really powerful and impactful.
Is the desire to be accepted a hidden prison?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think it's one of the biggest hidden prisons is that we're, and it's really, who are you trying to be accepted by? And what do you think that they have that you don't have inside yourself? And I think when you begin to strengthen your sense of who you are as a human being, then you will draw to you what you need, but you won't go out seeking acceptance from any and everybody.
All right, well, the book is out right now.
And thank you for inviting me to Rikers yesterday, man. Shaka was clowning me because I took security to Rikers.
He took a security personnel in an environment.
Like $5,000.
I didn't think about it.
8,000, yo, it was wild.
I don't practice bad habits.
Was that weird? Like,
I was laughing the whole way as I was thinking about what is going to happen when this security walk in. And it's like literally hundreds of officers that are armed. And I'm like, Charlamagne, you rolling in here with me, man? What are you doing? You good?
I ain't even think about it.
You good in any hood, in any prison hood when you rolling with me, bro?
I understand that. I don't practice bad habits. You know what I'm saying?
When you move a certain way.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
But that was stupid.
Right, and then with
just make no sense.
He took his firearm when he came in.
And then it made no sense. And he used to be a cop. So I was like, yo, you ever wanted to be a CEO at Rikers? He was like, hell no.
Jesus Christ. And he's also doing your Wealth Expo.
Yeah.
No, not this year.
I'm
He's on his book tour.
Book tour this year. I'm gonna miss it, man. I've done it a couple of years.
That's what I'm so
it's
used to saying.
literally-
Yeah,
man, it's one of the best experiences. So I really encourage everybody to go check it out. And we're going to do one on Rikers Island.
We're going to definitely do one on Rikers Island.
Yeah, we're going to make that happen.
But, I'm glad you did bring that up, though, because even though Shaka's not doing it this year, the years he's done it, it was so important to have you there, as well as Wallow, because to your point, every year that we did it, there was always people there who had either just got out of prison or got people who are in prison right now, and we don't understand how that impacts their mental, especially brothers that just came home.
Yeah.
Like they're still institutionalized.
Yeah.
And there were people like literally saying, yo, y'all need to add this component to the mental wealth expo because those are the people that are dealing with it.
Absolutely,
the most.
Absolutely, and I'll definitely be there next year. I'm so sad to be missing this one, but I'm super excited to be out on tour with the book and celebrating. Man, it's book number 3, man. So it's actually surreal, you've written books, you know how hard it is to get a book out in the world. So
What did
I'm
Oprah
super
cook
proud.
when you was with her a few weeks ago, man? I saw y'all holding hands. You had your hair braided all nice and neat backwards.
Man, the wild thing about the relationship with Oprah is we're generally friends, man. And like when I first wrote my book, I don't know if I told you the story, Envy, but I wrote my first book in solitary, and I was like, "Yo, anybody want to read this book?" And the guy was like, "Man, this ain't Oprah. Don't nobody want to read that shit." And I was like, "Damn!" I was like, "That was cold." But then I wrote it down as a goal. Oprah done read 3 of my books and invited me to her home multiple times.
And said that you were her greatest interview ever. Man, imagine Oprah Winfrey saying that about you. This is my greatest interview ever.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And then we became real friends, man. So that's my girl, and I shout her out all the time. And she always reaches out. I'm sure she'll be like, "Congrats on Pub Day, Shaka." So she's genuinely, she's who she says she is.
Love it.
Like
what did she cook though? What did y'all?
Oh, she didn't cook. We didn't eat. We didn't eat.
Okay. No
we didn't eat
tequila.
that time. No tequila that time. We was working. It was grand.
You hungry, man? Yeah. No, I'm saying she likes Casa Dragonis.
No, she actually sent me a few bottles though. She upped my game on the tequila some years ago. She asked me what my favorite was. I told her. She was like, let me send you something. And she sent me 3 bottles with my name on it.
I bet you it was Casa Dragonis.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I drunk all 3 of them.
Okay.
Jesus, all right.
Not at the same time.
No, I figured that. Well, pick up the book, How to Be Free. It's Shaka
A
Senghor.
proven guide to escaping life's hidden prisons. Don't forget that part.
Everybody got a hidden prison.
That's right.
And for every hidden prison, there's a door. And this book is the key.
It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get to the latest with Loren.
Loren becoming a street fan.
She gets them from somebody that knows somebody.
She gets the details.
I'm the homegirl that knows a little bit about everything.
She be having the latest on this.
The latest with Loren LoRosa.
Sometimes she have facts, sometimes she have details, sometimes she have a little bit of everything.
Well, it's the latest.
On The Breakfast Club.
Talk to me.
So yesterday, I'll start with this. Yesterday, I went to Harlem's Fashion Rose kickoff to New York Fashion Week. It was a mini fashion show, but there was also the Style Awards, and they honored Ruth E. Carter, a ton of different people, but they also took the time to honor Usher. He received the Virgil Abloh Award, which was a huge award of the evening. Let's take a listen to Usher as he accepts the award.
It's a philosophy that, believe it or not, I don't know that I meant to adopt it, but Virgil had this idea, you guys know about the 3% rule, and this idea that innovation really starts by altering something that is familiar, 3%. So that right there became kind of a model for how I would view what I was introducing again, but I introduced it with what many of the people in my team call my ambition of just looking up. While they look right and left and always have my best interest in my back, I just dream and I see something that I think is a little bit better.
Yeah, so the reason why this award is so impactful is because Harlem's Fashion Row, for years now, and they've grown into such a big business and big company, they've been spotlighting black artists, creatives, influencers, just people who are black. And, when it comes to fashion week, people always say we need to have a seat at the table. Their thing has always been we don't need a seat at the table. We're building the table so y'all can come because this is the table. And they spotlighted Usher because of all of the strides that he's made in music. But Virgil Abloh, as we know, was such a big force in fashion as a black creative. So they honor him with this award now, and Usher received it. But one of the things that was big that Usher talked about was why it meant so much to him to receive the award in Virgil's name and Virgil's 3% rule. Let's take a listen to that.
My pop, my nanny, my nanny, my aunt Polly, and Uncle George, and all of these people who were really significant parts of my ambitions. A tenacious little kid who wasn't raised with a father, but they taught me to dream. They taught me to run wild and use my imagination and fashion and all of those things. And although I didn't know that's what I was doing, I found by being around them, understanding the culture of the South, and what it is to be proud of something. I'm happy that the Lord has given me this opportunity to do what I do. I recognize him over more than anything for being a savior to me in my hardest moments and times.
That switched to audio, sorry y'all. But yeah, so Usher talking about the South and what this meant to him was also important too, because they talked a lot about HBCUs, and you guys know I was just at Del State yesterday, and how in the South, but also just here on the East Coast, putting money into Black students, which Harlem's Fashion Row is doing a lot of. They have a huge investment fund that they do, is important. So wanted to give Usher, congratulations there. I was there.
Absolutely.
Harlem's Fashion Row took really good care of me. Shout out to Brandis and all of her team last night. Slick Rick was there as well too. There were so many people in the building last night to support the organization. So
dropping the clues bombs for Usher. Usher can't never get enough flowers, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that man is an icon living. And when people have achieved everything that guys like Usher have achieved, they should be celebrated.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Every chance they get, every single chance they get. And I think it's fire too, because he's been supporting this organization before it was even a huge organization to support, which always means a lot. Now, shifting gears, speaking of creators, Kai Cenat, you guys remember he reviewed Drake's.
I'm glad that we're finally saying his name right. We've been saying his name.
Yeah,
we've been saying Cenat for so long.
I know, and I be trying to remember. Sometimes I still slip up and do it, but then I try to make sure I don't. But yeah, we've been saying it wrong for a very long time. But Kai Cenat, he's responding to Drake. So Drake posted Kai Cenat's top of his head, right?
His forehead, yeah.
It was his forehead, but more so it was the fact that he has dreads with a low cut. So there's this photo posted online. Make sure you guys go take a look at it in the room so you can see it as well. That Drake posted on his swipe through, and Kai's hair is low in the middle, but then he has dreads coming out the side, and he sees this. And this is because remember Kai got on stream and said he felt like the Iceman Part 3 episode was trash. Mm-hmm. He's been a huge Drake fan that we know of. So this was
just
Drake.
Because you're a fan of somebody, when they put out something that's whack, you can't say it's trash.
And you can't be honest about it.
You can't be honest about it.
Not these days. I mean, now, you're a Drake hater. No, you should be able to say if I like a record or if I don't like a record. I'm still a fan of that artist. I just don't like that song.
Yes, I do think people were calling him a Drake hater, but I think it's Kai. But Kai is always very neutral. If he likes something, he like it. If he don't, he don't, and whatever. But his response to Drake posting him in response to him responding to Drake was funny. Let's take a listen to Kai.
Why would he post this? Drake! I'm calling him right now. I'm so like that, I'm calling him right now. I haven't spoken to him in so long. It's not ringing.
Your call has been forwarded.
I don't beef for Drake. But why is he posting my like this? Come on! That's waggy, but he fake body, There you go. There you go. Retwist. It don't matter. People are gonna see the picture and be like, "Wow, you need a haircut. This is a retwist," and never even know what the look like after. They see this, bro.
They ain't know why you didn't have a retwist. You didn't get a retwist because you was working about other shit.
So what was funny? I missed it.
It was funny. You got to see the picture. Did you see?
I saw the picture, but
it was funny because right, Jess. Thank you for the face, because if you listen, you know it's funny. And his friend is sitting next to him trying to make him feel better, but low key he's making him feel worse.
But he called Drake first. Yes. It rang international. Drake didn't answer. So somebody on the chat said call him FaceTime. So he FaceTime audio. He still didn't answer yet.
All I know is that hurt Drake's soul, because Drake wanted validation of them young screamers so bad. So when you got one of the biggest guys, Kai Cenat, saying that Iceman was trash. Oh, I know that ice melted quick.
See, I don't understand it. You're an artist, right? You're gonna put out a lot of records, and everybody's not going to connect with all the
Erykah
records.
Badu told us a long time ago, just because you're an artist and I'm sensitive about my...
Yeah, but I love you as an artist. I just don't like this record.
But why can't this just be Drake just responding? He ain't blocked Kai. Kai said he wasn't blocked.
Right. And then to be honest with you, I thought it was like some type of promo. Maybe Drake gonna end up on the marathon that Kai is doing.
Mafia think, yeah.
I
Probably.
honestly
That would be
thought
smart.
It was that. You
It
know what I
could
mean?
be.
Like,
But-
it just doesn't seem malicious, nothing crazy, just a little jokey joke.
They've been
if we see him
promoting-
on there, I wouldn't be surprised.
They've been promoting the Kai and Drake scream. It seemed like all year that never happened.
It doesn't happen. So we'll see what happens. But I also, too, wanted to talk about Marlon Wayans on Kai Cenat stream.
Hilarious.
Oh, my God. I love to watch the marrying of the two.
I
He
know.
is MVP of Mafia-thon, in my opinion. There's so many different moments we could have pulled from this that were hilarious, but let's take a listen to, they were freestyling. It was Reggie and Marlon Wayans going back and forth on the freestyle. Let's take a listen.
Then he went and touched her on her thigh. We gon' cry. Let's do this in these streets. Let's do this in the rap. Let's do it on the beat. Let's pull out our. Whoa. What the is you talking about?
You know why people like Marlon Wayans and Kevin Hart go on there and actually, or Keke Palmer go on there and actually do well? Because they got talent. Because they're funny. Because they've been in movies, they've been on TV, and they've been doing this for a long time.
And also, too, I think when you see regular guests, like other music artists come, even though they watch the stream and they know the segments Kai's going to do, they always act like they don't know how to jump in and participate. Marlon, they come from the variety show.
He was the best one thus far. Now, he had other bomb guests and all of that.
Yes.
But, like, Marlon is just belongs.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, that was so funny. I do think it was rather random how Marlon was there with Kehlani. Like, Kehlani came in.
I thought that was
while
random.
Marlon was there. I thought that was random as hell.
But
And also, too, those artists and athletes can't do what the actors and comedians do. Like, but you
Yeah.
like an artist ain't gonna never be on the level of talent as a Marlon,
Yo.
or Kevin, or Keke Palmer.
It
Like,
was
they're
like-
artists.
it was
They-
making me think
they can
when-
rap and sing and dance.
like if In Living Color could meet Stream, like it was really good. It was I watched it. And it was really
Yeah,
good.
right. Like you said, if Living Color could have met Stream, that would be funny. Yeah.
All right. Well, that is the latest with Lauren. Let's get to the mix. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We had a lot of people that stopped through. We had Jermaine Dupri that stopped through earlier.
Yes, indeed. Salute to Jermaine Dupri, man. Listen, Jermaine Dupri is one of those individuals that you're not going to appreciate talking to until a long time from now, because people don't realize how legendary Jermaine Dupri actually is. We're
Very
such
legendary.
we're such a prisoner of the moment people that we forget what people have accomplished and
What he's
they've
done in this industry. That's right.
So when they get celebrated and Billboard says, yo, Jermaine Dupri is the #1 producer of the 21st century, people might look at that and be like, what? And take, like, no, go look at his resume.
Yeah.
He's stupid.
Right. You're right.
Yo, did y'all ask him? I seen something that went viral like a couple weeks ago. Did y'all get to ask him? Did he really say that Escape was a hard group to develop because they was ugly?
Oh, we talked about that before.
Yeah, no, that wasn't.
Okay, all right,
We didn't talk about this interview, but we didn't say ugly though. But yeah,
But he said that
No,
before.
no.
He
I
did.
know y'all didn't say it.
Yeah,
Somebody said
yeah.
that he said it.
Yeah, he did.
that's
He's always said stuff like that. They
Oh,
come in
okay.
because
All right,
you know
I just
they
wanted to know.
were like, well, he had 3 dark-skinned members of Escape in the 90s. So I've heard him talk about that before. Even up here, he's talking about it.
Oh, okay, cool. I just never heard him speak on it. I just heard that he said it.
Because remember, Biggie said in a song back in the day he would have sex with RuPaul before he have sex with them ugly ass Escape girls.
Wow.
And no, he did not. No, he did
Yes,
not.
he did.
What?
He definitely yes.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
I'm gonna send you the song. It's called Dreams. I'm gonna send you the song.
Wow. Nobody said nothing.
Not back then.
Yeah,
I mean, but we didn't realize how much that impacted them back then because you didn't have the internet and all of that kind of stuff. Like
Correct.
that. Well, yes.
No. Nobody said nothing about him wanting to have sex with RuPaul.
Oh no, this was the 90s, different times.
Okay. All right.
All right. Also, Shaka Senghor for joining us this morning.
Man, make sure you go pick up Shaka's book, How to Be Free, a proven guide to escaping life's hidden prisons, man. For everybody out there who feel like they're trapped in a hidden prison, Shaka's book is for you.
All right.
Can I promote Cleveland? Cleveland, Ohio. Your girl Jess Hilarious will be there this Friday and this Saturday. We got 4 shows, 2 shows this Friday, 2 shows Saturday at the Cleveland Funny Bone. Y'all get your tickets at JessHilariousOfficial.com. If you have not yet, I will not be doing meet and greet. I don't want to get sick 2 times in a row. I'm not doing it. So Cleveland, get your tickets. The shows are actually almost sold out. Love y'all so much. Can't wait to see you.
Charlamagne, you got a positive note?
I do, man. It's simple. Do not confuse motion and progress, okay? Because a rocking horse keeps moving, but does not make any progress. Have a great day.
That was the dumbest. No, find another one. What are we talking? What you talking about?
You'll get it. One day you'll get it.
A rocking horse don't move. So
I didn't say that. I said a rocking horse keeps moving, but does not make any progress. It don't go nowhere. It's like being on a treadmill running in place. You think you're getting somewhere, but you're going nowhere fast.
But you working out.
You're not going nowhere.
Breakfast Club, bitches.
Y'all finished or y'all done?